Any things where you were past, or you saw some friends? Or your husband?
For sure. Well, I do have a story about myself, and it wasn't that I was like hidden somewhere. People knew where I was, but I refused to move, and I did end up sleeping in the front yard.
Turn right onto Michigan Avenue, then make a U-turn.
This is after the Michigan. It was a Michigan State game, and my sister was there to tailgate, and I'd already been drinking heavily before I met up with my sister, and then I saw my sister there and started drinking even more, and I got way too drunk, and I did make it home, but I would not go into the house. I couldn't make it in, and they left me in the front yard. They said, okay, that's where you want to be. You can sleep in the front yard, and that's where I stayed.
Those Michigan State days, like, you would start tailgating at like 8 o'clock.
Oh, so even earlier than that sometimes.
In half a mile,
So
turn right.
I think this was the year I lived in the sorority house. I can't. No, it wasn't. It was after that. But we would get up so early for these tailgates. So early, before 8, to start drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nasty.
And the thing was, is like, okay, so we'd go do the tailgate and party and stuff, but like we couldn't regroup at night. Like, I don't know, like me and my group, I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't keep going. I just couldn't. Well, I couldn't go that extra mile that some people. I was amazed at what some people.
At the light, turn right, then take a slight right turn onto South Telegraph Road.
Some people won't even make it to the night game.
Right. I'd be back watching it.
248-539-9797. By the way, I do want to mention, we haven't mentioned this today. Once actually, Greg Brady did. Colonoscopies. Call the doctor. Get your checkup. Daryl and Wixom here on 97 won the ticket.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing this morning?
We're hanging.
Good. Condolences to...
Take a slight right turn onto South Telegraph Road.
I certainly understand. Just want to give you a quick story. Back when I was in college, me and some buddies decided to go visit a friend out in Wilmington, Delaware.
In 5.5 miles, keep right onto North US Highway 24 service route toward I-96.
When they walked me to the car, I kind of woke up. Didn't realize where I was. Didn't recognize them. And started running down the street. They're chasing me, but I wouldn't stop running. I'm in Delaware, there's no clue where I'm at. And then I sort of came to, ended up sleeping in an abandoned apartment that had enough sense of mind the next morning when I woke up to figure out where my friend lived. I was a mile away. I had to walk back to his house. I haven't lived that down yet.
Wow. Were you going to the quad?
No, we were just decided to go to Delaware to visit a buddy. He had moved there to go to work for DuPont.
Thanks, Daryl. Appreciate it.
You're streaking.
It's all old school, right?
Yeah.
Andrew in Shelby Township here, 97 won the ticket.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry for your losses. Quick little tidbit. I don't condone underage drinking, but I was able to procure some alcohol in high school. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time's parent, was out of town. And I don't have any clue how it happened or how I got there, but I wound up completely naked, face down in her backyard.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
And my clothes were nowhere to be found.
And did her parents see you?
No, they weren't. They were out of town.
Oh, okay.
They didn't come back, and I was out of there pretty early.
Did you find your clothes?
She found them, but they weren't on me when I hightailed it to my car.
Did she know how you ended up there?
No.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's a good one.
Some of the things, man, that you would do.
Oh, I mean, I look back now, everybody makes fun of me, things I've done. And like my friends who listen, online, they laugh because they think you were a big, you were not that big of a, in college, not much of a druggie. You smoked pot, basically. I didn't do anything, I didn't do really coke or anything like that until after college. When I could afford it, when I had a job. But yeah,
So you were in Washington, too, where it was, prevalent more than other places.
Especially in the 80s. But you look back, and there are times where you remember waking up the next day, trying to figure out how you drove. It's so scary.
Yeah.
It's really, really scary, the stuff because this is before Mothers Against Drunk Driving. This is, you know.
Oh, I know.
And
No, I don't. You know, that's what people did back then.
Yeah, I know.
And it's all about education and changing. You changed with it.
Yes,
You do it just like.
it's awful.
Just like I never would have. I've always been terrified of drugs because I grew up when Nancy Reagan
Right.
did the whole campaign and the head egg on the frying pan. You know, this is your this your brain. This your brain on drugs. To me, it's terrified me. Stuff like that.
It worked, man. It really did. Josh and Brighton here, 97 on the ticket.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're good. For the most part.
Good to hear. So I got a good story. I came home from Marine Corps boot camp one time, and I was partying up at Western with my buddy DC and Graves. And we all got pretty buzzed out on the discourse all day. And later in the night, we're still partying, and we're looking for our buddy. Couldn't find him all night. We're walking around screaming, yelling. 2 hours after 4 o'clock in the morning, we ended up finding him naked, sleeping on top of the laundry room.
Where, the laundry room? Naked?
Yeah, he was, yep, in like at Western Michigan, they had apartments and then they had community laundry rooms. And we found him passed out on top of the washer and dryers.
Thanks for the call, Josh.
What's the most ridiculous thing you ever did that, like, try to get alcohol into somewhere you shouldn't? Like when you were younger, or one time we got a keg into our dorm. So what we did, it was that if people know at Western Michigan, these are my ugly days. Britton Hadley, which was down in the valley, I think is what it was called. You could pull up to the dorm, one of those dorms in the back, and there was rooms on ground level. So you had the windows that you could open in the dorm. So we knew somebody that lived down there. And so then the laundry was downstairs on that same level. And then you had the huge laundry basket. So we had a laundry basket in that dorm room, brought the keg through the window, put it into that laundry basket, and then just went through the whole dorm to the other dorm, up the elevator, and got it in. Legend.
You know, I never, you know, I never had those stories because I was always too afraid to. I mean, there were times where you go to a concert and you'd put like a bag of pot under in your shoe just to make sure you didn't get caught. You know, they wouldn't see it. But like, I know people who still, to a certain extent, will take pot on planes and things like that.
Wow.
I'd never take the chance. I was a wuss. The craziest, the only thing I can remember trying to like sneak something in had nothing to do with drugs. Once I went to the Bahamas with an old girlfriend who was kind of kinky, and we got handcuffs through the security.
Handcuffs, nipple clamps.
Yeah. All right, we'll take more of your stories coming up next. 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Comcast Business. Daily road projects have you slowing down on M59 westbound from Martin Luther King Boulevard into downtown Pontiac, and also eastbound is a little bit heavy around the Woodward Loop. Today, businesses are starting to bounce back, but what if you could do better than that? What if you could adapt and find new ways to succeed with new customers? Well, Comcast Business wants to help you do just that. Learn how you can not just bounce back, but bounce forward at ComcastBusiness.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Text the ticket now. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
At Huntington, we're for people. The underdogs. The pioneers. The players. The slow and steadies. We're for people at Huntington. For who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money. But that's an old idea, because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome. Member FDIC.
It's here! It's really here! Better prices! I can't believe it! Finally! More choice!
Continue straight, then use the right two lanes to keep right onto North US Highway 24 service from Tour
You can lower your costs, not your standards. We'll help you navigate your needs, along with your budget. There's no better time to get a quote from Allstate. Click or call today.
Subject to terms, conditions, availability, and coverage selected. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance
Use
Company
the
and
right
affiliates,
two
Little
lanes to
Illinois.
keep right. In a quarter mile,
Did you start 2020 with the goal of buying
selling a home? Hi, I'm Mark Z with eXp Realty. While the current situation has halted many things in your life, achieving that goal does not have to be one of them. The real estate market here in Metro Detroit is on fire. If you're looking to get your home sold, call me, Mark Z, today and start packing.
Get the Z guarantee. Call Mark Z. Call 844-SOLD-YZ.
Distracted driving is becoming an epidemic. Look around, we've seen it. The car that's swerving in front of us or veering into our lane. People texting, updating their Facebook status, or tweeting. The fact is, if you're on the road, you are at risk. Getting affordable life insurance to protect your family is a must. There is no such thing as, I was almost insured. Call me, Mike Pepper of National Benefit Plans now at 877-734-2200 or on the web at nbphealth.com. And remember, National Benefit Plans would like to be your health and life insurance agency for a lifetime.
At the light,
It may not be stomach issues. For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out. No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable. But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms. Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on. This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Stay in the
From
left
muscle
lane.
pain, body aches, to strains, Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis. It works fast and you won't stick. Its unique formula with Emu oil penetrates deep to relieve arthritis pain, sore muscles, joints, and more. 97.1 The Ticket and Ellison Brewery have teamed up to make two exciting new beers. Introducing 97.1 The Ticket American Lager and 97.1 The Ticket Double Dry Hopped Hazy Pale Ale. Look for them on draft at a bar or restaurant near you.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
The Detroit Tigers play the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pre-game Friday at 6:40 on 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Still the Jamie and Stoney Show with Jamie. Condolences, calls, stories, texts, whatever. 248-539-9797. Make sure you schedule a colonoscopy. Big-headed kid. We're talking about your past, maybe. Well, for some, maybe their future, their present. I don't know.
Yeah, it's past and present.
Yeah,
You're younger.
Exactly. Will Birchfield, it was pretty much present. Our buddy. Saturday night, we couldn't find him after at Wojo's house after a night of drinking and partying and consoling each other. And we finally found him. He was in the backyard, passed out in the grass. So we're asking for some passed out stories. We have some ticket texts.
Yeah, we got some ticket texts here. Found in a chicken coop. Shorts were on backwards and underwear was in a tree. Got a standing ovation when I exited.
What?
Chicken coop. Stoney. In college, I was visiting friends at their CMU apartment. The laundry room for the complex was in a separate building in the parking lot. My friends found me passed out in there, and I apparently threw up in one of those dryers. That's from John in Virginia. Rest in peace, Jamie.
Can you imagine washing a load of clothes?
Well, sometimes you throw stuff in the dryer and don't look.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you just throw it in there. Oh my God! Oh, the heat and the puke, the combo platter. That's just gross. Let's go to Kurt in Riverview. You're on 97.1 The Ticket.
Yeah, happened a little while ago. I just moved down to South Morgan on Fort Lauderdale because of the job offer. And a coworker that was also from Detroit. He ended up at a local drinking establishment with the Michigan Ohio State game. I think this is the very first weekend we were down to Fort Lauderdale. We walk into the bar, and what you know is the Ohio State Alumni Association is in there. We're in Mason Blue. It's nothing but scarlet and gray. And so we sit down around the Cheers Light bar, and everybody, was going crazy. Michigan loses the game.
No, stunning. Michigan lost to Ohio State? That never happened.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Yeah.
But they said, you know what, we like you guys. We're a lot of fun. We're going to go back to this yacht and have a party. Why don't you come along? Oh, it's a Saturday afternoon. Why not? So we get a ride from this guy, one of those old taxi cabs everybody was driving back then down in South Florida. So we go to the Intercoastal, it's a huge scarlet gray yacht, and they got the tight song going, and at one point someone says, hey, is your buddy okay? I'm like, I don't know, what's going on? He's already down in the bathroom. So I go down to this bathroom on this big yacht, and I can hear him throwing up and banging on the doors. You all right? He can't even talk. So I leave him alone. Anyway, the party's going on. Sunset. Everyone's getting off the yacht, and I can't find him. I'm like, where is he? And we're yelling, Danny. No response. I said, I don't know. Talk to this guy. I don't know where he is. I said, well, I guess let's just go. Maybe. I don't know where he went. So we leave. Apparently, he had gotten off the yacht, passed out in the bush.
2 miles. Keep right onto I-96 west toward
And to this
Lansing.
day, he tells everyone he left me behind. He had to step over me to even get out. Like, I never saw you. Well, I know he's listening right now. Yeah, he passed out in the bushes. He ended up, this is days before cell phones, you had to go to a 7-Eleven and look a buddy up in the phone book.
Wow.
And use a payphone to get him, because we didn't know where we were. We just moved down to the area, and he had to call somebody and say, hey, I don't know where I am. Come get me.
Wow. That's great. Danny, if you're listening, you might want to refute this.
Got a ticket text here. I was stationed at Pendleton and was bar hopping in San Clemente, California. I woke up naked in the bushes of a Chase bank. Lost my wallet, phone, and clothes. Had just one sock on.
What? How does this happen?
It's called alcohol or drugs.
I know, but oh my gosh.
Let's go to Rich in New Jersey listening. Hello, Rich.
Stoney, how are you, buddy?
Yes. This is my. We're talking about this came from Will Birchfield, who is probably the biggest Ranger fan I know, except for the guy on the phone right now. So sorry you're down
We're
two.
down 2-0. I think we're done.
Yeah, but you might get the number one pick next year.
That would be good. Hey, first of all, before I tell you the story, deep condolences, obviously, to all you guys and to Jamie's family. You guys did an amazing job yesterday. Tommy and I listened, as we always do, and it was really incredible. We couldn't turn it off. It was just unbelievable. Great job. Really unbelievable.
Thank you.
It was impossible to turn it off. I sat here for 4 hours of work and just could not turn it off. So, great job. We'll leave it at that. Let's go on to something even better, or funnier anyway. So this goes back to our senior year in Washington. There was a legendary club, I think it was Southeast or Southwest Stoney. It was way in God knows where in D.C., called a Pier.
Yeah,
to go to.
During the week, it was all gay. On Saturday nights, it was half gay, half American, George Washington, University of Maryland, straight students.
It was a great club because the bartenders were all gay guys and they wouldn't serve women. So the women had to come to the guys to get a drink. So you had a leg up immediately because the women couldn't get served. So you were way ahead. And let's just say that we were ingesting stuff that you needed a prescription that we didn't have prescriptions for. We'll leave it at that. And anyway, so when you left the club, you were actually in no position to be going anywhere in a car, but as Stoney said, it was a different time. So the criteria was who was in the best position to drive home. And this particular night, it was me, but Stoney's car was the car we were driving in. So it was about a 20-minute drive back to campus, and I was the one elected to drive. Stoney was in the passenger seat, and we had 3 or 4 people in the back, including one of our other roommates. And it was the winter. It was snowy in D.C., And we're driving, the last stretch of the road is a road called Foxhole Road. It's a windy road up from Georgetown up to where American is. And of course, what happens, look in the rearview mirror, boom, lights, get pulled over. And I immediately, the first thing you do, open the windows and you straighten up as quickly as you can. And, roll down the window, instant respect. What can I help you with, officer? Oh, you're going too fast. Oh, I'm so sorry. And, license and registration. I asked Stoney to, open the glove box and give me the registration. Of course, he opens it and the lights don't work. And he says, let me open the door, to turn the lights on in the car, which was a big mistake. He opens the door, and Stoney, being in the position that he's in, with feeling no pain, immediately falls out of the car and goes face first into a snowbank. and then gets back in the car and looks like the abominable snowman. He looked like he had a white beard. The officer looks at me and goes, where are you going? I said, officer, we're going to American University. It's right up the street. He goes, take care of your friend. Get out of here. I don't ever want to see you guys again. And close the door. And we get in the car and drive up the street. But if you could have seen Stoney, we're laughing about this 40 years later. Honestly, him going out of the car face first was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
How about this?
I think the cop was laughing.
Well, the close of the story is after the cop leaves and we're driving up, all of a sudden there's a voice from the back saying,
I wasn't going to tell this part.
I'll tell that part, yeah. Yo, man, the good thing they didn't stop us. I had an eighth of Coke in my sock.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna give that part, but I'll leave that to you.
There's no secret. Are you sure that was snow he fell in?
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you got the back seat, it would have been something else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, thanks, Rich.
Yeah, okay, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Is that the Rich I met?
No. You met another. You met the one who's a fledgling basketball agent at the age of like 63 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to Larry in Farmington Hills. You're 97.1 the ticket.
Hi, this is Larry from Farmington Hills.
I just said that. Wow.
Oh, okay. I just want to say condolences to you and the staff. I had you guys on all day at my office yesterday. But I'm originally from New Jersey. When I was in college, we were in Manasquan, New Jersey, and it was getting late, and we were all kind of drunk and everything. We were blocked up from the beach, and we ended up, after hours, drinking on the beach, and we hijacked a lifeguard boat, and we ended up sailing it down the Jersey coast for about a mile or two, and we woke up the next morning, and we were on some beach, and we didn't know where we were.
That's good. I like that. Jersey Shore hijacking a lifeguard boat. Nice.
Yeah. So, anyway, keep up the good work, and my condolences to you and the staff and the Samuels family.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it, Larry. Let's do one more. William in Macomb. What's up?
Hey, good morning, guys. Just wanted to say first, my condolences to you and Jamie's family and whatnot. Still kind of in shock about the whole thing. But going back a few years ago, my buddy moved to Royal Oak, and being the cheap person he is, he decided to walk home instead of getting an Uber like every other normal person these days. And lo and behold, and this is like the third time he did this, he ended up passing out in some completely random person's garage. And long story short, the funny part is he freaked out in the morning when the guy walked in on him, and he goes into the typical, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I thought this was my house. And this guy looks around the room and he goes, so you mean to tell me that you thought this was your place when you took my lawn chair cushions and made yourself a bed and then took my tarp to make a blanket, and that's somehow you living in your own garage? And to this day he tells the story. I just thought it was hilarious. He made a complete bed for himself in this guy's garage, passed out, still thought he could get away with him thinking that he was at his own place, which he lived in an apartment at the time, didn't even have a garage.
Wow.
So,
I love the thought process. It's like, you got the wherewithal to actually make a bed,
right?
But you're willing to go into some random person's garage.
How to be that drunk and still be able to do that and pull off making the bed? That's pretty good.
It's crazy. Hey, we got news next.
Yes.
At 8:50, I have quite possibly one of the greatest ticket texts in the history of mankind.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, well, we're loaded from the cars today. 97.1. Oh, Heather with news next. What do you got, Heather?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's okay. You can skip over mine 'cause my tease isn't really that great. I don't have anything well thought out. But Michigan and Michigan State have both announced some new kind of plans when it comes to the fall semester. So I'm going to tell you what's going on with that.
All right, 97.1. That's it.
Guernsey Farms Dairy, celebrating 80 years, serving families in our communities. Newly renovated scoop shop and restaurant, now open for carryout. Come taste their award-winning premium ice cream, famous buttermilk chicken, or the official lemonade of Mackinac Island. Taste the Guernsey difference.
Michigan, we're calling on you to save lives. Don't ignore it. Don't let it go to voicemail. It's urgent. In fact, it's critical. Because if you've been in close contact with someone who tests positive for COVID-19, you may have been exposed to the virus. And you could get a call from My COVID Help or your local health department. So please answer the call to learn how to protect yourself, your family, and friends. We're calling on you to stop the spread of COVID-19, to make it safe to reopen businesses and help Michigan move forward. So if you get a call from My COVID Help or your local health department, you may have been exposed to someone with COVID-19. To protect us all, answer the call. Learn more at michigan.gov/containcovid. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
The need for food and assistance in Michigan is greater than ever. Our local firefighters, law enforcement, and emergency first responders have stepped up to help with the Kroger First Responders Emergency Virtual Food Drive. This year, COVID-19 prevents them from collecting food and funds at local Kroger stores, so the virtual food drive was created to help collect funds for our local food banks. All month long, you can go to feedmich.com, that's feedmich.com, and pick the food bank of your choice. Your donation will go directly to them. Let's help feed Michigan together at feedmich.com.
As you get back to business, small things can make a big difference. Like marking safe distances with floor tape and posting reminders to wash hands. As always, Grainger is here to help, offering supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, 24/7 support, safety recovery guides, and more. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sometimes our food is more than just food. It's an integral part of our community. So this year, Discover is giving $5 million to support Black-owned restaurants. To places like Rodney Scott's Barbecue in Charleston, Post Office Pies in Birmingham, Back in the Day Bakery in Savannah, and hundreds more places in your local community, all across the country. Learn how you can show your support at discover.com.
Thinking about life insurance? Did you know in just a few minutes you can find the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies for free? You can with SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-461-4545. That's 800-461-4545. 800-461-4545. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Capura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, log on to nbphealth.com.
The station where your opinion matters.
All right, it's time for news with Heather. But first, I do want to remind everybody, we do have primaries today, so if you're so inclined, please vote. Go exercise the freedoms that we have in this great country to go vote. Thank you. That's your PSA for today. Here's Heather.
Thanks, Tony. Okay, so University of Michigan students who are planning to return to campus for the fall semester must first socially distance for at least 14 days at home. So they're calling this the enhanced social distance at home. Basically, anyone who is planning on living in dorms or apartments will have to take and pass a COVID test. And they say there are certain guidelines for this quarantine period. So all students have to stop going to work for the 14 days. So you can't go to work. You can't go to social gatherings. You're going to have to take your temperature twice a day and monitor for any type of COVID symptoms if you have a fever or whatnot.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
First of all, I believe this isn't just for people who are living on campus, right? This is for every student, correct?
Well, it says people who plan to return to campus.
Does that mean return to campus to go in classrooms or to live on campus?
Probably all. I don't know. Because they don't.
Okay, all right.
Probably both.
So here's my problem. I mean, suppose how are they going to prove it? How are they going to prove that you quit your job, number one? What if you have a job that you take anyway to help pay for your schooling?
Right.
I mean, I don't understand how they're going to know that you're doing temperature checks. My daughter has a summer job, and so I asked her yesterday, I said, so how long, because I know it was a quick thing. I said, so when does your job end? She said, I think like next week, so it's before the deadline. So she'll probably quarantine, well, whatever. She'll be doing the correct thing before she goes back to school, and she's living in a off-campus apartment, but it's still, she's going to take some of her classes are face-to-face as of now, so.
I think it's anybody that's on the premises.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they say fall classes begin August 31st. So basically, no later than August 17th would students have to basically quit going to work, would have to stay home. Yeah. I don't know if there's any way to actually prove it. There really isn't, but that's what they're asking students to.
So do you think you put yourself in this day and age, but when you were younger, do you think you'd be able to 2 weeks, like basically do nothing as a college-age student?
With the stuff that we have at our access, as far as like video, Netflix and things like that, probably I would be able to.
I think I would too. Maybe you'd have a completely different perspective because of what's been going on. And then my thing is like it's the loss that everybody has had. And don't you want to go back? Don't you want to make it right?
Yeah. No, I'm just this is weird. Michigan State or something similar too, right?
Well, it's kind of similar, but also kind of different. So Michigan State is actually encouraging students to stay home for the entire fall semester. So they're not asking people to socially distance for 14 days before returning to campus. They're actually saying, hey, you might as well just stay home and take online classes all of fall semester.
Yeah, that went over well in my house. My tutor says, I'm not staying home. I'm going to go to the apartment. She's off campus.
Yeah.
So she'll be with her friends or whatever and still take online.
Yeah, but it depends. What are they going to be up to,
No?
It's like maybe Jessica is going to be fine and she'll do what she's supposed to do.
Right.
But then what if somebody else in the house? Because that's why it's no different than a dorm.
Right.
It isn't.
I know.
Yeah, so
we'll see how long
pretty
that
crazy.
lasts.
Yeah, we'll see what goes on there.
And I got to tell, how do you feel about paying for college if a whole semester is online?
I still think it's not as good, but I mean she's been doing it during the summer, and she's been doing okay. They find it harder because they can't, there's no office hours. I mean, you can do those virtually as well. It's more difficult.
I just think for some kids it's so much harder than others. I was the type of kid in college. I had to attend class.
Well, especially it also depends on the class. Like if you're like pre-med or something like that, or how do you do that virtually? I mean, as far as like
you're using operations.
Yeah,
a lab. How do you do any of that?
Right. I mean, you dissect virtual frogs if you're early, when you're in high school stuff. I mean, seriously. How about that? Michigan jacked their tuition 1.9%.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yep. Now, speaking of school, not just college, but as we get closer and closer to school starting for K through 12 students, parents are obviously becoming a little bit more uncertain about sending their kids back. there's actually a new study that found that 4 in 5 parents are thinking about homeschooling their children this fall. And of those parents, nearly half say that they're seriously considering keeping their kids home, not only this year, but also next year.
I'm one of those 1/5ers.
Look, I think the kids need to be there, but if the teachers, if you're going to just get substitute teachers, because there's going to be some, older teachers that don't want to go back, I think you have to. I think the hybrid way may be the best way to do it, where 2 days in, 3 days. I don't know.
I don't even know about that.
I know there's no perfect solution.
No, there isn't.
The problem is, now younger people are getting it now. Before it was like there was no big deal. Well, I take that back. It was a big deal. But as far as for the students, it was no big deal because they weren't getting it.
So again, I just repeat the same thing. It's time for people to kind of lock it back down a little bit. I have zero problem with you going to a restaurant wearing a mask. I don't want it to be like the shutdown, okay?
Right.
But if you want your kids to go back into school, then it's time to start maybe getting even a little safer than you have been.
Right.
We live down in New Boston, and so Huron School District, and I heard last week, my wife knows somebody's husband works in a fire department, and they said that New Boston had its highest total one day last week, and it was 6 cases. And, population down there is not that big, but that's why I want our kids to at least try to go back. Mm-hmm. I think it's very different than where you live, Stoney.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, and so I want it to be choice. But, okay, to make it personal here, so Connor's going into 5th grade, and he's struggled a little bit in school last year. He's having a few social issues, and we don't know if it's just a phase or whatever. And but anyways, his teacher is going to be, who also teaches our kids' church, and he's very close, to, and has a good relationship. And it's gonna suck if he can't have her this year.
Right.
I had the same 4th and 5th grade teacher. She had such an impact on me and how I was going forward and stuff, and I can see kind of something similar. It's like everybody had that one teacher, and she's going to be that for Connor, and it makes me so mad if this doesn't happen.
I know, it's going to suck. Hopefully I'll be able to do it, but I understand why people are afraid.
I do too.
For sure.
I've tried to, through all this, respect everybody's opinions on how they should do things. It's the mask thing I wasn't on board with for a while. I think you can't deny the evidence.
Right.
You guys, a drunk Troy man decided to grab his shotgun and actually try to help the cops break up his neighbor's big house party on Friday. But as you could probably imagine, he was actually arrested and was charged with having a firearm while intoxicated. So things didn't quite go the way he wanted, but cops were called to this, I guess, kind of a loud house party after one of the partygoers got into this argument with this drunk neighbor. The guy got into an argument, said, get home, go home, get out of here. So the drunk guy said, okay, fine, I'll go home. When the cops showed up, he came back out on his porch with a shotgun, ready to go help break up this party. But thankfully, he didn't use the gun, everything got put down, and he was arrested.
Crazy people. And you got to see this. I saw this on, I think it was the Detroit News website.
Yeah.
The mugshot's one of the classics. One of the great ones. Just look.
It's always great when you see those. And
well, the new thing's been people are smiling. This is traditionally looks crazy.
Well, everything. The hair, the face, the eyes. Whenever I know, whenever it's a local story like this in Troy, I always am going to be curious, if I know this person. Have you ever come across, a mugshot in one of these articles where you're like, oh my gosh, that's so-and-so, I know him. I always wait for that.
I don't hang out with criminals, Heather.
Well, sometimes they're people that you'd never know.
Oh, I know. I'm just...
At the roundabout, take the first exit onto
You can say his name. He's in the newspaper. Christopher Hogarth.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Chris? Nice mugshot.
Yeah.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah, he does have crazy eyes. Finally, you guys, an angry Burger King customer is also facing charges after he reached across the counter and slapped an employee across the face. So apparently this all started because he was upset over some missing chicken nuggets, okay?
No way, it wasn't because of a mask?
No, it wasn't because of a mask. It was because of these missing chicken nuggets. So he started yelling and screaming at a manager, and then he kind of went into a racist rant that was, of course, all caught on camera.
Jail for robbery and stealing stuff. So she needs to get the out of here before I get her put in jail for the rest of her life. You were on camera right now?
Wow, we could hear the slap.
I know.
So all because of what? He was shorted some nuggets?
Yep, of course. And then kind of,
Don't you always count them? Everybody does, right? You make sure you get your 6. If you ever get an extra one, you don't care. You love it. It's great.
Yeah.
But the best thing is especially Burger King, when you get that sneaky onion ring that comes along with everything else, when you didn't order onion rings, the pleasures in life.
I went to Burger King Friday night after the little Sully get-together party. I went because I was hungry as hell because I didn't have dinner. And it was like, I don't know, 10 of 11 or something like that. I don't know. And it was not exactly fast food because it just took, I mean, there were 3 people in front of me. It just took forever. And you're
That's the worst.
hungry and it's like, come on. And oh, God. They had 2 people working and it's a 24-hour place, too. I mean, I don't blame them. They were understaffed.
It's funny you said that because me and Doug were talking off the air yesterday and about just, Doug's like, man, I'm, we're coming back from up north and on Friday or Saturday or whatever, and he says, I'm stuck in a drive-through and it took forever and ever, and then they had us pull aside and then there's cars leaving with food and you're still sitting there waiting for yours. And then he's like, it was Sunday, I think, because it was after Jamie had passed. And he's like, then I think about that. And I'm like, why do we get worked up about the stupid things?
I know.
And I'm as guilty as anybody.
Yes. Just wait till football season. Talk about getting worked up about things, and then you realize.
Well, Jamie did that too. So
I know. Thank you very much, Heather. Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Evan Jenkins, Mr. Sock, as we like to call him. He runs 971theticket.com. He'll join us like he always does, coming up at 9:35. I got a text the other day from Derek Stevens, who runs the D. Just wanted to extend his condolences to Jamie's family and to us here at 97 on the ticket. Jamie, being a big baseball fan, know that one of Derek's sons, Sammy, who played baseball at Georgetown, and when they were out at the D, we went out there when Jamie was there and talked to him about that. And Derek's always been great to us. And just wanted to send along those condolences from everybody at the D. So thank you for that, Derek. And Vegas is still going on right now. They socially distance. Vegas Golden Knights are playing some pretty good hockey right now. And, anyway, if you're going to Vegas, we're not going to see hockey because they're playing in Edmonton. But you can have a lot of cool things like golf. So if you're going to Vegas, staying at the D will hook you up with all the great golf courses around. You want some good food, they got Joe Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse right there in the D, and of course the Long Bar, socially distanced. It's a great place, hang out, have a lot of fun. Prices are very reasonable. So go to thed.com, book your room today. It's thed.com. Detroit Sports in Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by your local Lexus dealers. 75 northbound traffic, a little bit heavy right now near 14 Mile Road, also on M59 westbound heading into downtown Pontiac. And construction slowdowns continue on Lapeer Road, both directions through Oxford and Lake Orion. Experience the joy of a bigger world at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Enjoy 0% APR for 60 months on all 2020 models. Ends August 31st. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Text the ticket using the same number you used to call the ticket. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
Apply for a loan any place, anytime, on any device, and get your loan fast. Welcome to Simple. Welcome to Genesis.
Science with the Radio.com Sports Minute. Everyone knows the remarkable story of the Jamaican bobsled team and how a group of sprinters hoping to make the Summer Olympics instead made history at the 1988 Calgary Winter Games. Eddie the Jet Alvarez is kind of, well, the opposite. He's a first-generation Cuban-American speed skater who won a silver medal at the 2014 Sochi Olympics in the men's short track 5,000-meter relay. Tonight, he could become the first Winter Olympian to play Major League Baseball. The 30-year-old switch-hitting shortstop was called up to the 30-man roster.
onto North Tipsico Lake Road.
Looks like a real deal. I'm just curious, 248-529-9797. Have you watched the restart of sports? Care about it? Or the fact that it's now in August just makes it like you want to be outside first?
Both of them have been weird. Yeah, it's been weird. I haven't been able to get into it yet, really. I've watched, I watched quite a bit of hockey game on Saturday afternoon on NBC. But the others, it's just been background in a lot of ways. It's good to have that back because I couldn't find anything. I was like done with TV. And I started going back to watching the news channels, and that's not good for me. So,
Coming in here, nothing published with the Korean baseball was starting to
yeah, we got the real stuff now. I don't know. It's just something odd about it, but I'm still not. It's like I think it's the timing of the year, right? I'm finding myself going to baseball before the other two sports. I know that is a factor that's a present, and I also think what you said, this isn't the real thing. Hockey, I love watching the first round of the playoffs, but I know this isn't the first round of the playoffs, and I really don't care if the Hurricanes get in over the Rangers, right? Or whatever. The Blackhawks. I actually think it'd be cool for the Blackhawks to take out the Oilers. Like I think it would be cool for those Kane and Tays to make another run. Yeah. But then there's a part of me too that would like to see David have this moment at Holland and I'm a $10 fan and supporter. It's just I'm still warming up to it.
Turn right onto North Tipsico Lake Road. Then turn left onto Ethel Drive.
You've gone through the route where you mentioned, you'd like to see everything, you'd like to see Kane and Taves, and they're playing each other. It's so weird. It's like if Edmonton makes the finals or, the Western Front, they're going to be home with no fans. I mean, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, Toronto,
You don't know that for sure yet, maybe.
Well, for the Western Conference Finals.
Turn left onto Ethel Drive. Then the destination is on your right.